Students, in the last video, we ended with this benefits of animal classification. So what were the benefits? The first one was study of animals becomes convenient, isn't it? So, if anything is classified, okay, then it becomes easier to study about them. So, study of animals also became convenient because of the animal classification. Why? Because the diversity in animals is very large number of species are available on the earth. So to make the study convenient, okay, the animal classification was done. Now study of few animals from a group helps to understand about that entire animal group. Now you have divided them into groups, you have classified them. So what happens, even a few animals if you study, okay, even a few animals you study from that group, you will understand the entire animal group. So it gives idea about animal evolution also, so how the animals have evolved, okay, that also that idea is also got by this animal classification. Then animals can be easily identified with great accuracy. So you can identify the animals also accurately. So it helps to understand the relationship of animals with other living organisms. So what's going to happen? You will be able to understand the relationship also. What relation it is having, okay, with other living organisms, that also we will be able to understand. So it helps to understand the habitat of each animal and its exact role in the nature. So what's going to happen, that is each and every animal you will come to know its habitat, how, in which type of environment it will be able to live, okay, what type of environment is necessary for that animal, and what is the role of that animal in the nature. Then it helps to understand various adaptations shown by animals. So by the classification, what is the thing you will understand? Last one, see, it helps to understand various adaptations, means during your survival you have to adapt to the changing environment. Means what? You will have to adjust to the changing environment, and during adjustment you adapt some things. So those adaptations also you will be able to understand. Now traditional method of animal classification. So the first method we are going to study is traditional method of animal classification. Now see, traditionally depending upon presence or absence, okay, yes, so depending upon presence or absence of the notochord, the animal kingdom has been divided into two groups, okay. First of all, first method of animal classification, okay, traditional method, is non-chordates and chordates. Now see, this non-chordates and chordates, okay, they are, that is how they are grouped into non-chordates and chordates depending upon the presence or absence of the notochord, okay. Now where is this notochord present? This notochord is present in the vertebral column, okay. So what happens is, some animals they are having the notochord and some animals do not have notochord, okay. So depending on the presence or absence of the notochord, the animals kingdom is divided into non-chordates and chordates. Now see, the first one we will study is the non-chordates. So what are these non-chordates? So we will study the characters of non-chordates. Okay, body is not supported by rod-like notochord. Now here see, the word itself is telling you non-chordates means what? The absence of notochord. Notochord is not present. So this rod-like notochord, okay, it is absent in this non-chordate animals. So body is not supported by rod-like notochords. Then pharyngeal gill slits are absent. Okay, so this gill slits which are there, pharyngeal gill slits, they are absent in non-chordates. Then nerve cord, okay, if present, it is on ventral side. It is solid and paired. Okay, so the nerve cord which is there, okay, if it is present, where it is present? It is present on the ventral side. Okay, and it is solid. Okay, so it is solid and it is present in two, paired it is. Okay, heart if present, it is on dorsal side. So where is the heart? It is on the dorsal side. Okay, yes, let me tell you the meaning. See, dorsal side, I'll give you an example. You know our heart, human being's heart, okay, where it is present? On the ventral side. Okay, so the heart of in this non-chordates, you'll be able to understand now, isn't it better? So heart if present, it is present on the dorsal side. Okay, now see, this non-chordates, they are classified, okay, divided into 10 phyla. Okay, so this non-chordates which are there, they are divided into 10 phyla. So which are those phyla? They are Protozoa, Porifera, Coelenterata, okay, or Sideria you can call. Then Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. So they are divided into these 10 phyla, non-chordates. Okay, now see, the next is chordates. Okay, so we studied about non-chordates. Now this chordates, okay, the characters of chordates are as follows. Body is supported by notochord. So body, you know, in chordates, okay, it is supported by the notochord. And see, in non-chordates, body is not supported by rod-like notochord. So this is difference. Again, non-chordates, body is not supported by notochord. In chordates, it is supported by notochord. Then pharyngeal gill slits or lungs are present for respiration. Okay, so pharyngeal gill slits over there were absent, isn't it? Now here it is present, pharyngeal gill slits, or even, okay, there might be pharyngeal gill slits, okay, or there might be lungs, okay, for respiration. We are having lungs, isn't it? And you know, fishes, they are having pharyngeal gill slits. Now, okay, see, nerve cord is present on dorsal side of the body. So where is this nerve cord present? It is present on the dorsal side of the body and it is hollow. And here see, nerve cord if present, it is present on the ventral side. It is solid, okay, but here you saw it is that is hollow, isn't it? Yes, see, nerve cord is present on dorsal side. There it is present on the ventral side. It is hollow over here. There it is solid, isn't it? You know, hollow means what? Air space is there in between, right? In middle, just like a pipe. Okay, and that is hollow. And over there, it is solid. Heart is present on the ventral side of the body, and over there it is heart is present on the dorsal side of the body. Okay, now see, notochord is a long rod-like supporting structure present on dorsal side of animal body. It keeps the nerve tissue isolated from remaining body. Okay, so the notochord, Okay, it is a long rod-like supporting structure. So how is the notochord? It is long. You can see in this diagram, isn't it? Yes, you can see over here. How is the notochord? It is long. You can see over here. Wait, I'll show it to you. Okay, see, the notochord is a long rod-like supporting structure present on the dorsal side of the body, right? This is the notochord. It keeps the nerve tissue isolated from remaining body. Okay, so it is going to keep the nerve tissue, okay, isolated from remaining body. So you can see here nerve cord. Okay, nerve cord is over here. Okay, yes. Now, do you know all chordate animals are grouped together in a single phylum and the name of the phylum is same? Okay, that is phylum Chordata. The phylum has been divided into three subphyla as Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Now see, here non-chordates, it was divided into 10 phyla, right? Yes. Now see, now here this which is there, chordate animals, all the animals, they are grouped into a single phylum, only one phylum. Okay, yes, and the name is given as, and the name of the phylum is same, that is phylum Chordata. There were 10 phyla in the non-chordate animals, isn't it? Here only one phylum is present, that is Chordata. This phylum has been divided into three subphyla. So this phylum which is there, this is divided into three subphyla: Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Subphylum Vertebrata has been divided into, okay, this Vertebrata which is there, we are included in Vertebrata, right? So this subphylum Vertebrata, again it is divided into 6 classes, that is Cyclostomata, Pisces, okay, yes, first one Cyclostomata, second one Pisces, then third Amphibia, fourth Reptilia and fifth Aves, okay, and the sixth one is Mammalia. We are included in Mammalia, okay. Now see, conventional system of animal classification. You can see here the flow chart. Okay, by seeing this flow chart, you will be able to understand more clearly. First of all, kingdom Animalia, it is divided into two, okay, subkingdoms, that is non-chordates and the chordates. Yes, then this non-chordates, it's divided into, yes, how many phylums? 10 phylums: Protozoa, Porifera, Sdaria, Platyhelminthes, Astralminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. Then this phylum chordates, it's divided into only one phylum. You can see over here. Here the non-chordates are divided into 10 phylums. But this chordates, it's divided into only one phylum. Okay. Yes. But this phylum Chordata, it is again divided into three subphylums. Okay. It is again divided into three subphylums, that is Urochordata, Cephalochordata and the third one is Vertebrata. Then this Vertebrata, again it is divided into six classes, that is Cyclostomata, Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So kingdom is divided into subkingdom, subkingdom into phylum in case of non-chordates. But again chordates, it's again divided into classes also. Okay, so in chordates only up to phylum it is there, but in kingdom it is again divided into subphylums and classes, remember. Okay, Yes, this is the conventional system of animal classification. Now, this system of animal classification was in practice till now. Okay, till now, this classification was in practice. We used to follow this type of animal classification. However, nowadays, new system of classification is followed. We will study this new system of animal classification in brief. Okay, yes. So now a new system of classification, animal classification, is followed. So students will see a small clip, okay, which will show you the difference between chordates and non-chordates. Only some of this you are having some differences. You will study in detail in your higher classes. Now see the classification of animals, that is the phylums and all. It seems to that is to remember. It seems to be difficult. So we will see a small trick in this video how to remember those. Okay.
From chapter 6 Animal Classification from Science Part 2 of Standard 10. This topic is important for 10th standard, 11th standard and for the entrance exam after 12th. As we know that classification is very important and remembering all the phylums and classes in their sequence is also very important. This trick is made so that you can remember the phylums in the sequence for long term. As we know that kingdom Animalia is divided into two subkingdoms, namely non-chordates and chordates. In subkingdom non-chordates, there are 10 phylums. which are difficult to remember in the sequence. But don't worry, I'll give you a sentence to remember all the 10 phylums in their proper sequence. So here's the sentence. Let's read the sentence first. Pretty powerful cat placed an apple around mouse which echoed hard. Did you get the sentence? Let's read it again. Pretty powerful cat placed an apple around mouse which echoed hard.
Now see, remembering this sentence is easy, isn't it? Pretty powerful cat. Okay, you know, cat is back of mouse always, right? Yes. So remembering this sentence will be easy for you, I'm sure. See, pretty powerful cat. Okay, placed an apple. See, around mouse. So what is this cat going to do? How is this cat? Pretty powerful cat. Okay, what is it going to do? It is going to place an apple around mouse which echoed hard. Okay, now see, we'll continue.
Now here the letter PR in the word pretty stands for phylum Protozoa. Similarly, the letter PO in the word powerful stands for phylum Porifera. Letter C in cat stands for phylum Cnidaria. Letter PL in the word placed stands for phylum Platyhelminthes.
Okay.
Letter A in the word and stands for phylum Aschelminthes. Letter A in the word apple stands for phylum Annelida. Letter AR in the word around stands for phylum Arthropoda. Letter MO in the word mouse stands for phylum Mollusca. Letters ECH in the word echoed stands for phylum Echinodermata. And letter H in the word hard stands for phylum Hemichordata. So students, just by remembering a sentence will help you to memorize all the 10 phylums within no time. Now let us move to subkingdom chordates. The subkingdom chordates is even more simpler to remember. The subkingdom chordates has only one phylum, which is phylum Chordata. But this phylum is divided into 3 subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Did you understand? Let's remember them by a sentence, and the sentence is you clap vertical. Yes, that's right. You clap vertical. Let us now substitute the subphylums here. The U represents phylum Urochordata. Clap represents subphylum Cephalochordata, and vertical represents the subphylum Vertebrata. Well, this was very simple, isn't it? Now let me tell you students, subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are not further divided, but Vertebrata is divided into 6 classes. Don't worry students, you know the trick now. What would be the sentence to remember the 6 classes? Here's the sentence. Let's read it. Cinderella is princess and remaining are maids. Now let us substitute the classes. C in the word Cinderella represents Cyclostomata. P in the word princess represents Pisces. A represents Amphibia. R represents Reptilia. A represents Aves. And M represents Mammalia. Students, I want to tell you one thing, that is remembering these phylums and classes are very important. But remembering them in proper sequence is equally important. And I hope that these sentences will help you in memorizing the entire kingdom Mammalia. Thank you.
Now see students, this video was interesting, isn't it? You got the knowledge how to remember this conventional system of animal classification. Now this is very important. In the video also it was told, I am also telling you that from the point of view of your further studies, that is 11th, 12th and even after 12th, this is going to be very helpful to you. So you have to learn this conventional system of animal classification. So see, once again, see, kingdom Animalia is divided into kingdom, 2 subkingdoms, that is non-chordates and chordates and non-chordates are divided into 10 phylums: Protozoa, Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. Now this subkingdom chordates, it's divided into only one phylum, that is phylum Chordata. Now this phylum Chordata is divided into 3 subphylums: Urochordata. She told you her sentence, you clap vertically, isn't it? So U is Urochordata, clap C, that is Cephalochordata, vertically, that is Vertebrata. Now see this, okay, Cyclos, it's divided into class, okay, 6 classes, that is Cyclostomata, Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. Okay, so learn this today itself, this classification, practice it, very important. Okay, so now the criteria for new system of classification. So we will be studying in the next video, that is the criteria for new system of classification.